Alright, gentlemen. Let's have a look at the Dark Empire stuff that Corey came out with, 1 day ago. Well, I feel like it's 2 days ago at this point. But yeah, Dark Empire stuff, it's gonna be fucking... What's up, Ek? Just in time to watch us, watch me, watch Corey play Dark Empire. Here we go.
Version 3.2 of Empire War Expanded Thrawn'S Revenge saw the introduction of the legitimacy mechanics to the Imperial factions, and the response to them
More like Dark Empire. Stupid Canadians? Hey, I mean, they're not all Canadians, are they?
has been really positive. In version 0.3, we're taking that government mechanic to its next phase by tying Imperial regimes directly.
I mean, look at... Oh. Hold on.
We're taking that government mechanic to its next phase by tying Imperial...
Look at Sauce Beacon. Looks fucking awesome. And Zoth, oh, you get little... Ah, look at that. You get little little locks on there to indicate that, you know, you can't go there yet. Because I remember I was having a... Well, not an issue, but I was like, oh, can we go there? Can we go there? Can we go there? But that's really cool. Look at that. Sauce Beacon, locked.
regimes directly to it, especially with Dark Empire. If you've played versions of Thrawn's Revenge prior to 3.3, you're probably familiar with eras. These are 7 different time periods covered by the game, represented by...
remember we went kinda chicken satay pestage. We had Isan, and then we had Thrawn for what, like a day? Just went straight to Palpatine.
7 different Imperial leaders, which determines the time period of the game, not just for the Empire itself, but for everyone else as well. Generally, the progression here happens by the Imperial player either voluntarily choosing to progress, the Imperial leader being killed, or 60 in-game weeks passing.
I mean,
Point 3 is making some significant...
I'm sorry, but... would you not rather have Daddy Palpatine than, you know, Thrawn?
Significant changes here. First, other factions will no longer have all of their progression tied to the Imperial leader. Instead, while your starting regime is still decided by the era or year you start in as the Empire, time progresses independent of the Imperial leader. Some events will still be based on who's leading the Empire.
Oh, I thought that was my frame rate for a second. I thought, what the hell is going on? Never mind. Thrawn and Palpy?
Empire, but time and regime beyond the start are no longer locked to each other. The first thing this means for regimes as a government mechanic is that the 60-week limit per leader is now gone, so you can theoretically stick within one particular regime forever if you so choose, without that...
Okay, so when point 3 comes out, so when point 3 comes out and we inevitably play Empire again, we're gonna we're gonna rush to Reborn Palpatine and stay there forever then. I mean, we're gonna rush towards Palpatine and keep Palpatine forever. Satay X Palpatine, what? What? I mean, I don't care about Karner, Natasi, I mean, yeah, Palion, but I mean, Papa, I mean, come on, we'll stick with Papa forever. Papa will rule the galaxy.
Meaning every other faction.
Somehow. Don't ask how. Don't you dare ask how. Just somehow, guys.
Is stuck. Secondly, a new Imperial regime has been added as an alternative to Isard when progressing from Sade Pestage, the Central Committee of Grand Moffs. Whichever of these two between Isard and the committee that you choose will become your leader, each with their own unique elements and forces, and with the forces of the one you don't choose becoming independent on the galactic map, based on Typhera for Isard and Kessel for the committee.
Wait. So wait. Did I... Wait.
Is stuck. Secondly, a new Imperial regime has been added as an alternative to Isard when progressing from Sade Pestage, the Central Committee of Grand Moffs. Whichever of these two between Isard and the committee that you choose will become your leader, each with their own unique elements and forces, and with the forces of the one you don't choose becoming independent on the galactic map.
So if you choose the Central Committee, then you get an independent Isard Who's gonna wreck shit up with her flagship? No. Oh. Oh.
based on Typhera for Isard and Kessel for the Committee.
Oh.
St. Pestige's death or Coruscant being taken in this era will default in leadership falling to Isard. From here, both options progress to Grand Admiral Thrawn, similarly to how it worked in prior versions, but this is where we start getting the major changes introduced via legitimacy. Rather than legitimacy just being a way to integrate other Imperial factions or to attract smaller groups of heroes to your cause, it's now also more of a competition between Imperials to prove themselves worthy of the reborn Emperor approaching them from Biss. The main Empire no longer just gets Dark Empire as the next step after Thrawn, they have to earn it, and any Imperial Warlord faction can beat them to it. When an Imperial faction has integrated at least 2 others, which could include integrating one faction that's already integrated another faction, Palpatine will approach and give that faction the option to form.
Wait, so if you say we're playing Maldrut, right? Say we're playing Maldrut, and say we're playing Maldrut, right? We're playing the Pterodok brothers, but Kane has already taken Zinj. If we then take Kane, that still counts as 2.
From Dark Empire.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
In the future, you'll be able to turn down this offer and someone else will form it if you want to play against it, without giving up future progression.
Why would you say no to Papa? How is everyone? I'm pretty good. Pretty good. How are you? Pretty good. Personal favorite is Kane and Palps. I mean, yeah. I don't know why do people like Kane so much? I mean...
But for now, it sticks with just the winning Imperial. Dark Empire brings an additional set of units and heroes from Biss to join...
I could easily say no to Palps. Get the fuck out of here. Look at... you gonna say no to that big black thing in your screen? Hell no, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
Join whoever forms it, including Palpatine himself, his powerful flagship the Eclipse and its related superweapon-toting design the Sovereign, Shadow Droids and TIE Droids, Hunter-Killer Probots, Dark Stormtroopers, Chrysalid Beasts, and more.
What, are you gonna say no to all that? Are you gonna say no to all that, Rage? Get the fuck out of here, Rage. Why would you say no to that? Come on, eh? It's not the size of the ship? Yeah. That's what they all say. It's exactly when your girlfriend says, No, you're not small. Yours is perfect for me. It's small. Don't fall for it. Educational content more valuable than my university courses video? I mean, hey. You're finally watching real content, Sully. Right? We're finally watching some actual content on the channel.
This release will also see the return of the World Devastators and Titus Clev's Silencer 7 flagship.
Hey! That's pretty cool. Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool. I had a medical exam last night, so I slept in the hospital. Oh. Did you get a TV though?
World Devastators will not be built the standard way, and instead will upgrade and reproduce through their use in battle. We already...
Wait, how is that gonna work? So the more you have it in battle, is it like a, oh, it's destroyed so many ships. It's now at 75%. We only need one more Star Destroyer to... Oh, that's pretty cool. So you can't...
already had capturing Pokemon with boarding shuttles, so now it's basically time for evolution as well. A dedicated preview will...
Let's just make Empire War expanded into Pokemon. Catch all the ships.
Will be made to show off exactly how they work, so enough on them. Well, most of these bonuses will leave when Dark Empire ends, which will likely have an additional criteria put on it beyond the standard choice to leave or leader death, since it's meant as a power spike. But there's one other major difference with Dark Empire compared to prior regimes. It goes on top of your earlier leadership, rather than replacing it. So, you'll keep Thrawn, Delvardis, Zinj, or the Pterodok brothers, or Kane while you're in Dark Empire. Because of how the regime is formed, it also doesn't need to happen at a specific time.
So we can keep Thrawn and have Papa run the show. And we get to keep Thrawn.
The Empire, this could mean you form Dark Empire.
Corey, you are a sexy bastard, let me tell you. Holy shit.
while Thrawn is leading your faction, but it could
Holy
also mean you form it with Isard, Pestage, or the Central Committee. This means any extra units they lock or unlock won't change, but also means once Dark Empire starts, that set of progression is now done. You can't change from Pestage to Isard or the Committee, or from them to Thrawn, after Palpatine has taken over.
That's fine.
But once Palpatine does take over, none of the further progression will remove whoever was in power from before. If you want to have Thrawn and his protege Pelion together, that's a thing that you can do now. And if you want...
Oh, dude, we can have Pelion. Dude, have Pelion in charge of the Sovereign and have Thrawn in charge of the Eclipse and just, I mean, just party like it's 1999.
you want to have the girl bosses Isard and Dala around, that's another thing you can do. If you want to keep the Denny's Early Bird Special represented, you can stick with Pestage and Palpatine. This can all have implications elsewhere. For the Empire of the Hand, this means potentially the ability to keep Thrawn around. As a result, there's many different permutations the game can go through depending on how and when these decisions occur. From Dark Empire on, progression proceeds similarly to prior versions, but for whichever faction has won legitimacy. You'll progress from Dark Empire to Karnor to Dala to Pelion, through leader death or voluntary changes or potentially other means.
I mean, as if the mods didn't offer replayability as is. Right? They're just adding more replayability shit to it. Fuck, Corey, stop getting me erect.
Because we don't want to interfere with the core rosters of the Warlord factions, or disadvantage one over the other, the later regimes will not have the same amount of unit locks or unlocks as before, unless especially appropriate. Instead, we'll be looking into other areas for leader bonuses. Some of the unlocked units within the Empire itself, which were tied to specific later game regimes, will stay with that faction and instead come through timed progression.
Right.
The legitimacy winner will, however, become the beneficiary of any later research unlocks from upcoming periods in versions beyond Point 3, like the Turbulent Star Destroyer, which we showed off in the last EAWXCon stream. There's a few things we hope to accomplish with this new setup for legitimacy and changes to eras. For one, we want each faction to feel like they have more control over their own progression, rather than rushing through it by happening to have the Imperial leaders die elsewhere, or feeling like you may never progress because you just can't find them.
Who would rush through it to get to what they want? That's silly. No one's gonna rush through the leaders, right, guys?
Secondly, you want to make sure that the late-game Imperial content can still show up no matter who you're playing as. If you're the Empire, you generally get to see it, but as, say, the New Republic, if you eliminated the Empire itself before Palpatine came back, Dark Empire would always feel underwhelming. And in the future, it'd mean content like the Turbulent would have...
But, I mean, who plays the Republic? Like, who plays the Republic seriously, though? I mean, come on. No SSD to start with for anyone, which means the odds are good for another lost first episode in your campaign. There are no lost first episodes, Sully, please. Stop spreading the fake news. I do not do that. I do not throw away recordings. What you
have just disappeared.
Shut up, Sully.
This way we can tie it to whichever faction is around the longest and in the strongest form, giving it the biggest chance for the player to interact with it without having to play as the faction.
Those tie looked really clean. Did you see that?
Form,
I mean, it was
giving
a
it
bit
the
wobbly.
biggest chance for the player to interact
Look at that. Those ties look really, really clean. God damn.
With it without having to play as the faction using it themselves. In some ways, this actually mirrors in-universe events as well, where the Pentastar Alignment's territory basically stayed around the longest and was the basis upon which Pelion built the Imperial Remnant. Finally, it adds a much better feeling of progression with...
I mean, Pentastar stays the longest no matter what, I feel like. For some reason, Pentastar is just untouchable in my games. Like, the last... How many campaigns? It was always... The final boss was always... Pentastar.
Within a campaign that isn't...
And their fucking carrier Praetor class ships. God, fucking hate those.
...locked to a specifically scripted event or battle, helping to give different mid-game goals for the player, giving them something to work towards or against aside from simply winning the game, and different reasons to target different factions.
What do you mean, aside from winning the game? That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I want to hear the screams of my enemies and the cries of the oppressed people while I conquer the galaxy as the Empire. What do you mean? That's my only goal.
It should also hopefully feel like a more interesting way to progress than simply researching a unit when it becomes available. Ultimately, this is a goal we have for all of the factions, to have at least one of their government mechanics provide this kind of a long-term goal, ideally with its own flavor for each faction. Individual mechanics like the Command Staff for the New Republic, Pirates for Zinj, Chief of State options for the New Republic as well, the legitimacy unlocks that already exist, and the CSA's ship market have generally been pretty well received and work to give the factions a unique twist, but those ones don't give the same kind of long-term goal something like this does, so you want to end up with a mix of both versions for everyone. Hopefully that explains what the system does and how it works. If there are more questions, I'll be answering some comments, I'll have a pinned one with some frequently asked questions, and feel free to ask more on our Discord server linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.
That's amazing. That is really, really good. Should this ever go on YouTube, the links for this video and the Thrawn's Revenge mod will be down in the description. But, oh, fucking hell. Corey, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, Corey? I am so erect right now.